I guess people only joining today, but today here we will be doing this. That is what's here. Right. Mm, Okay, so what I planned was like I finish off today. I finish off the front end, and for that, what am I planning right now is something like the previous day we saw the test page, right? And we have seen how we can like uh, how that can be having the data field, then the form and such. Today I will start off with the login page, and the login page will be like login and register page will be handling uh, or will be interacting with the API, the endpoint, and the endpoint will be responding with token, right? We'll see how the token can be used from the front end side so that the backend would respond back. Respond back as in after the login endpoint, it kept all the other endpoints, all the major other endpoints to be protected. So that would be it, and I'll be using one direction. Let me just delete this one. Uh, delete this one. Okay. So starting in day 4. As of now,
So you are going to use the view CLI option, right?
yeah, we see. See again. I am keeping it. Like I am using it.
Sir, I'm talking about like there were two options, right? In the
Hmm.
uh, CLI option itself.
Yeah, I currently I deleted the white wallet directory and will be proceeding with the CLI all thing. But if you want, like, see, I am not going for styling and stuff, right? So if I had to do it, I might do something like some alignment sorting, like to keep it a bit like I am not going for a huge like if I would ask me like if I could be building the project right now, in that case I might have used somewhat styling so that I can change the position of the text and fields, right? And for that I am not up right now. So that is why what am I doing? I'm like so that is why I'm like not going for the white option. Else for white, if you remember, the pages and stuff are so much styled that I have to handle a lot of things. Right? I could have done that, but right now, so that is why like the UCLI, the sample project that it has created me. It has a very quite simple styling, and it's like very less. So that is why I'm going for it. Else, there's no such reason that uh, I'm going for UCLA for any other purposes. Because in general, if you see by principle, those are same. Right? Not a huge difference over there. Okay. Mm, okay. Acha, it didn't get copied. See, when it was not copied fully, let's give it a try once more if we could copy that. Even I won't copy it. Okay. There is one thing that yeah, I don't remember if I had said that, but I'm coming to that in a moment. But anyways, the other thing that I said was there are two different servers, right? And two different, I would say, two different entities without any other, like in terms of running those, like they are not dependent on each other. Apart from data transaction, nothing is like dependent on each other. So what am I saying? I will be using two terminals, right? Two different servers, two terminals. First thing, I would cd into day 4 backend. Right in here, I have the backend code. From here, I would be running my backend server app.py, and it's done. In this terminal, it is good to go. I won't be touching this terminal anymore because most probably what I think is I have built the backend, like whatever right now the backend is. uh, it would like at least till the point where I am done building the login page and the like I can showcase that how I can use the token. It's good to go. Okay, it doesn't need any more change. And the next thing that I'm going to say is front end. Okay, I'm creating a directory. Let it be here. And in front end, what am I copying? I would copy everything but node modules, right? Paste it. Even it's the same thing that you will be doing. Okay. So I think I forgot to say it the previous day. That is, I was comparing, if you remember, I was comparing the front end's node module directory with my backend virtual environment. Right. See, again, I couldn't directly compare it, but I can compare the idea, right? Idea as in, if you remember, I said that the virtual environment was having the Python libraries in it, right? And in the node modules, what it is having the front-end packages, the JavaScript packages, right? Now, the thing is that if you, like, whenever you are going for your project submission, in that case, if you remember, or if you know that you have to create a zip file. Now it's a condition that your zip file must be below 10 MBs. Now here's the thing. Consider this. You are using virtual environment and you are using the CLI idea, right? View CLI idea. Again, View CLI idea and View CLI tool. Those were different. View CLI idea as in not using CDN. Okay. So you have chose you have chosen that. Okay. Now the thing is that if you have the virtual environment, then it might result in some extra 3 or 4 MBs, but it is not allowed because of the checks, like the checks and some other checks that are done. So you cannot have the virtual environment whenever you are submitting. Not only because of the size limitation, but because virtual environment won't be affecting the size a lot. But again, there are some checks that are done, and if you keep virtual environment, those checks might get affected. So virtual environment, you cannot keep it in the zip file. Now here comes the node modules. Okay, so the node modules could result into a huge increase of size. It could be something like, if you are done building your project, and I'm considering you don't have some big binary files uh, in your project. In that case, and still you are having the node modules. In that case, your project might result into something around 200 or 250 MBs, right? Now, if you remove the node modules, it could result that your project size could drop down to 1 or below 1 MB. So what it is, the node modules uses a lot of storage, right? So you have to mandatorily remove it to make the submission possible, right? Now the thing is that how would you recreate? If you remember, I said that there is one file that is package.json. Now what it does, we have seen that it was maintaining the dependencies and stuff, another logic. Okay. Similar to requirements.txt, somewhat similar to requirements.txt if we consider the dependencies that it is containing. Okay. Now the thing is that similar to the Python or the backend side, how are we creating the virtual environment? By using the pip install command, and we are like reading the requirements.txt file. Over here, the idea is somewhat similar, just that you have to run a command like from the back front end side, I already have package.json. What would I do? I do not have to like mostly it's automated. I do not have to specifically specify and stuff. Rather, what should I do is cd day4 front end directory. I came in this directory. Okay. Next thing, I need to run npm install and just that, nothing else. Whatever library, whatever package, and whatever thing that you have in your package.json, it will be regenerated. Okay. Okay. It's done. See, just to mimic that, what did I do? I didn't copy my node modules directory from day 3, right? And anything other than that was copied. Now let's give it a try. npm run source. And if you see, the server is running fine. So what can I infer from this? Key, my front end's node module and stuff were correctly built. Okay. And the next thing is, let's go for a login page that I was talking about before proceeding any further. Because I need token. I need token for both authentication and RPAC implementation. Right. And see how a project is made is depending on multiple factors. And from those, one factor is on the developer who is building it. In here, what I prefer to do is that I prefer to build it starting from the login page. And how that could be helpful? That is because right now with this kind of a project, I need variable dependencies, right? Like dep- dependencies as in to implement RBAC, first things first, right? Then there is something more. So those like the token that is needed, I could have mimicked the token, but again, that is how I prefer to do. Okay. So I cannot make you do something like that. Key start from login page, but I can put out a suggestion that what I felt was it was somewhat easy. So you can give it a try. Start from the login page and build the other pages. Other pages, as in, do not jump into everything. Rather, that's an RPAC implementation, right? And even if you see both the problem statements will be having more functionality on the admin side. So after login and register, like after authentication, go for the admin pages, right? Next, after that, like even from the admin pages, go for the operations, CRUD operations, right? Then come to the dashboard. And after the dashboard is done, or it can be interchanged whenever you require. Then next thing would be the user side. Okay. This is how I can suggest. Again, it depends how you are planning or building it. Okay, so let's start off with the login page. In View, I would create one file, name it as login, right? Login.view. So in here, what do I need? If I go to the login endpoint, okay, I shifted those login. Copy it. Yeah. In here, I need email ID and password, and we are fine, good to go. Right? Let's see. Uh, so what are the things? Template. Then is the script and styling. I'm not doing it, but we can proceed from. There is one more thing. I don't remember if I have said that or not, but If you remember when we were discussing home view and stuff, and even app.view, every template, like within the template tag, I said that the template tag will be like, if you remember, let's see, uh, index.html had that div tag, right? And the div tag was empty. Now the div tag was populated because of main.js that I said. And what was it populated with? App.view. Even from app.view, it was populated with whatever that is within the template tag. Right? So starting from here till here, as it is, it's being like added to the div tag that is in index.html. Right? Even there is something more. That is the views that we are seeing were populated in this router view. Right? View routers tag router view. And what was it? Router view was, if I consider about view.html, router view was replaced with this portion. That is whatever that inside the template tag. So what I say, it's always better to use the div tags. Okay, so that even for it's for your also, it's for you also. It's that to it, that to debug and that to keep it in a good uh, structure. And it's a good practice to keep it in a proper, cleaner structure, well structured plan, as you can see. So it's good. Even in app.view, I want to add that. Like in here, let's do a div class equals view app, whatever. But I want to add that just for the sake. Yeah, I can see the difference. Okay. Similarly, in login.view, I will start off with a div tag. Class could be login page. Right? And within this div, I would be adding stuff. Well, before that, no. Let's have h1 tag that says what? Mm, log into the app. You can write something as login page or next thing. Let me have another div class as login form. In here, I want to get two labels. Label for email field. Span is span is good. And even in here, I only need in the ID in that case. Next thing is span password, and here's the password. And finally a button. Okay. There could be something more. The one more button that says register. JSTER. Okay. Now let's see. If I add a route, like add it to the router and give it a try, it is. And there is one more thing that I forgot, and it's a good thing. Like if you see, If you remember that I said that whatever that was within about that view, I can like for each component I can give it a name, right? Like how it was for a home view.
Yes.
Similarly, like it can be handled. Right? For example, if you see about that view, it was like it didn't have that. Right? Now the thing is that it is possible without the name declaration. I could have imported it, and I I think I said that. I can import it and proceed without specific name. But there's one thing, it's a good practice to follow. So what would I do is export default, and within this, just give it a name, login page or view. Now I save it, go back to the router and check. Yes, it was given an ID. Now considering, acha, there is an error. One error. Line 19. Module not found. Module not found. Oh, my bad. The file name I wrote is wrong. Save it, and it's okay. It's good to go. Now, I want to do this key very quickly. I want to see if it is 80 slash login. Yeah. And this is the page which I want to see. Let me add something more. Here. And right, this is how I want to see. Simple login form. Next thing, uh, next thing is, if you remember from the test page, I will be declaring the data fields. Declaring one is email, and it's empty. The other one is password, and again it's also empty. How can I attach those two here? That is, I'm like using v model. This dot email, and in here this is v model. This dot password. And before I proceed any further, let's see if it is working fine. So if I write my email over here, it's visible. Email.com. Ah, there is something more. Okay. Acha. And those stuff are the usual stuff. Okay. Anyways, ignore. So what am I saying? I got the email and password, right? Next thing is I want to send it to the backend. Hmm. It is still here, and for example, how could I do it? In a similar way, I was logging on to the console. Same way, I have a method, for example, and that method is with the name login. But what the login method is doing as of now, it is this console, like logging onto the console. And if I attach it, it's like it's on V on click this dot login. As of now, I cannot see it over here because I don't have the console. But it should work. Or it could be something like, uh, let's see, let's not do console. Rather, this dot email equal to empty. So basically, it would empty out the variables so that I can see. I think I can get an alert also. Now, let me give it a try. So, I think at the rate abc.com. I mean, whatever the password. And if I click login, the variables will be out. So I can say the method is working for me. Now, next thing, instead of doing this stuff, what do I need? I need the email ID and password to be attached or to be added to a JSON object, and that JSON object should be added to a request that is being sent out to the backend server to a specific endpoint, to the specific endpoint, right? Now, here's the thing. How can I do it? If you have, if you remember, I could use fetch, and even fetch was discussed in the theory course, right? I think I am not totally sure, but in some screencast video, Tejas sir might have discussed or might have brought up the other package. I'm not very sure. I don't clearly remember. But if not, so there is a package that is Axios, right? It's similar to Fetch, but it's a bit easier, right? Let's code and even error handling and how the requests are handled and stuff are very much easily done with less user input or developer input for Axios. So for that, I'll be using it. Now to use it, I need to install that npm install Axios. It's a package. It's not already available. See, I am installing that, and if you see on package.json, see the dependency got updated. Previously, it was not there, right? Because I installed it, and it would be maintained from here. Next thing, I would just restart my server and let it be running. But I want to include the feature in login. So how could I do it? Is import Axios from the Axios library. Now in method, I want to use, okay. So what I want to do is I want to use, like I can verify something, like if those fields are not there, then I would see, I would just give an alert that please fill the both fields. Then I would start off with Axios. Axios dot, like there would be three parts. Wait, okay. If you remember, what was the method for login? Login had the post method. So post, it is basically sending the request. Then the request again, whenever a request is being made, that's a promise that is made by the request. It will be giving you a response back. Be it a good response, be it a bad response, but it would be responding you back. It's nothing like, okay, you have made a request and some error happened and you are not getting what happened, right? It's not possible. It would be giving you back a response, be it good, be it bad. That's a promise made. Now, to handle that, a request is made that is on line 32. Next step is the block which will be handling if it was a good response or not. That is then. If it is not a good response, then it will come to this block. That is catch. Right. So request is being made. I'm getting a response. Be it either. I'm getting a response. If I'm getting a good response, then it will go to the then block. If it is getting a bad response, then it will go to the catch block. So it's something like this. If you think of it in this way, it's Axios dot post dot then dot catch. Okay, right. Now the post will be having multiple things. Post will be having, as of now for login, it will be having only the body, right? And is as in the body, like firstly it would need the address where it wants you want to send the post request, and after that it will be having the body. If you remember from the what was that, postman, we used to set a method, then we used to write the address, and finally in the body, at least for login, we used to add the JSON object, right? So in the same idea or in a similar way, I'd be doing that. Now let's see. So within post with a quote, you just need to write http localhost 5000 slash login. Next step is the body. Okay, add a comma, come to the next line, start writing the body in this format. What was the key? Key is email and password is also email. What are the values to those? The values are coming from the data fields that we have declared, that is this email and this password. With this, the post request is being made. Right? Next step is the then block. So whatever response that I am getting in the then block, like whatever response, I am adding it to a variable, naming it as response, right? And within that response, what am I doing? I'm console logging whatever response that I got back. Else, what can I do is I can give it one, I can declare one more variable such as message, right? It's also again empty. And if I'm getting a good response, then what would I do is this dot response, oh sorry, this dot message is the total response that I'm getting back. I'm just putting it out. Right? And same for catch. If I am getting a response, then I will be adding that to the this dot message equals to error. Now it would be best if I would have shown you in that way. Okay, let's see. Let me do something like this. If I am getting a good response, we are printing it
You
out on the.
assigned twice.
Sorry,
You have, okay.
I'm not
Okay.
audible.
So now it is okay. Actually, you assigned twice this message. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, acha, acha. Okay. Acha. Hmm. So let's see.
No,
And
actually, previously it was two
ha ha.
lines you wrote.
Yeah, I wrote dot message and there was a line and then again I wrote. Okay, I'm removing those and I'm going like I was using the simple browser, right? I'm not using it right now, but I'll be using a full-fledged browser so that it would be easier to showcase, because it would be easier to showcase it in the console and I don't have console in simple browser. It's visible. Now let's have a look. There is a hurdle that I need it to, like, I have to handle it, but as of now it's fine. Like, so first let's give it a try. See, it's good to go. Let's see. So localhost 8080 slash login. Localhost 8080 slash login. Yeah. So this is the login page, right? Let's see. And as of now, my console would be empty. Let's change it to responsive. Here's the console. Console is empty as of now. I've cleared the console again. It's not the same. And I would write the email. For example, admin at the rate abc.com slash at 123. Wait, one second. I need one small thing. In here, I want to have a button. That could be something like so. I need a method. Password usability. Mm, okay, this could work. Let's see. Hmm. I had the password ID, no? No.
Is it because the const are late?
No, no. It is because whenever I am changing it to changing the type, in that case the type is gone, so it cannot find it again. Let's get it right. And 1, 2, 3. So what was it doing? If you remember, what was it? Type was set as password, right? Now the thing is that whenever for the first time, whenever I was like, it is going through the going through the template, okay, and it was trying to find an input field which had type to be password, right? Now the thing is that what am I doing? Whenever I am clicking that thing, it is going through and finding that field, right? And next thing, if the field, like if the input field type has the type as password, it is changing it to text, right? It worked fine for the first time.
Yes.
Next time, what was it? Next time I changed the type to be text, right? So whenever I was clicking the button again, it could not find a password. It could not find a input tag with the type password, right? Because it was changed to text. That
Yes.
is why it was giving me an error. Now what did I do? I added an ID. and I'm not changing the ID, right? So what am I doing? I'm searching for an input field which is having an ID to be this. Okay. So now it is working fine for me. Ding, ding. Okay. So admin at the rate abc.com and password is admin123. Okay. I clear the console and let's see. Or else I can stay in the network too. So in the network tab or from the network tab, you can like see how it is like sending the request and what are the statuses of the request and stuff. If I click on login, what is happening? It is giving me course error from console. Even there is something as Axios error, network error, and stuff. Message to be network error. But if I try it from Postman, will it work? Let's see. I am not changing at all. See, the terminal is as it is. Let's give it a try.
One thing you haven't handled, I guess,
Bolo, bolo. Okay,
that
if you want to
token.
see if I am no token is not needed for login endpoint.
Okay, it will give a token, right? Okay.
Right.
Next.
So it's emptied. And even if you can see it in the payload, I did add the JSON object. It was there for the request. Okay. Even the same thing I'm doing for Postman. Let's see. So local host 5000. Okay. The endpoint is wrong. Endpoint is wrong. But no worries. I forgot. I added the auth.
Auth login.
Yeah. Save it and give it a try again. Okay. I'm clearing out the like okay. Here, let the network log be here. Okay. So admin at the rate abc.com and admin 123. Okay. I click login. I can see the same error, same thing. Okay. The address is different now. Like where am I sending the request? I'm sending the request to this location. That is localhost 5000 auth login. And that's right. But still added the payload and what is the response? Basically, from here, it's a bad response stuff. It's a bad response. So why is that happening? That is, let's see. Let's see from the postman login and in body it's raw JSON. So the field is email. Email. And what is the email? It's admin@abc.com. Next field is password. And the password is admin123. Okay. If I send a request, I got a response back. But it's not happening for the front end. That is because of the cost policies. Right. So there is what is cost? Cost is uh, cross origin response. What? Wait, I need to check. So it's cross origin resource sharing. So resource sharing. And by default, it's like stop. So what is happening? Why is it cross origin? That is because if you see currently Postman is trying to communicate with the backend server. That is fine. And it is acting as a direct client. Client as in a last user or end user. But whenever we are using the till your Mad One project, if you remember, the browser was the end user, right? And it was communicating with a server. But what is happening now? Even it is not for CDN. If you are using the CDN idea or if you are implementing the CDN idea, in that case too, you are using the backend server to render out the pages, right? Now, the thing is that whenever you are going for CLI, it's a different server. So there is one more entity in between. That is The browser is communicating with the front end server. The front end server then is communicating with the backend server. If you think of it in that idea, so there is one server in between that is working. Now the thing is that it's not allowed whenever a server is communicating with the other server to give a response back. So right now, at least if I am using the front end, so the front end server is trying to communicate and ask for the token from the backend server, and that is not allowed. I have to set that. So for that, what would I do? I would stop the front end server, back end server, and import a install a library, that is pip install flask hooks. And after this is done, I will just restart the server and I will include that in my app. Just go back to app.py. In here from flask cause, I would import cause, right? And in here I just import cause. And go through the documentation and you can specifically say that you only are allowing cause for the front end server. Restarting the backend server. Right now, if I implement in this way, so it would communicate with all, so whatever server that is trying to communicate. But you can specifically say that the backend server would respond back only to the front end server. Okay. That you can do and give it a try.
Why did you install that
To
info build?
implement to fix the cost policies. If you see, if you search for cost policies, so it's like cross origin resource sharing is a browser security feature that restricts web pages from making requests to a different domain than one that serves from the web page. So currently the web page is served by what? The web page is served by the front end server, right? The address is localhost 8080. Okay. But it is trying to get the data from where? It is trying to get the data from localhost 5000. So that is a policy that is already been set, right? Now, just to give it a fix, what am I doing? I from my backend side, I'm allowing that it responds back to the other server address. Okay. Currently, it will only be responding to 5000 or with whatever request that is coming directly to 5000. But what is happening whenever I am using Axios and stuff, it is trying to get the data to 8080 instead of the direct client. It is getting the data, or the data is being requested from 8080. It is the other different server address. Got my point? Think of it in this way. What Postman is doing? Postman is directly making requests and sending it to the backend server, right? But like I'm considering the previous example that I said, Postman is doing that. But right now, my server, like the page that I'm talking about, what it is doing, it is basically trying to communicate with a different server, right? And how the page got rendered out? Page got rendered out because of the front end server.
Sorry, sir, it got crashed. My
Oh,
system.
acha, acha. It got disconnected. Where was I?
My system got crashed. Like
Oh,
it's
is it back?
pretty old.
Like,
Yeah, yeah, it is back.
uh, till what time did you hear
Uh,
me?
I heard mostly till the cross origin course.
Acha. So I was saying the same thing again. So basically, if you go through the definitions and stuff, you can get the idea. Or if not, it's like one server won't communicate to another server. That is what the simplest, most explanation that I could give right now.
One thing, sir, can I mention particularly that this server only we need to allow?
One second. Okay. So that's course implementation. Right. Now let's see if my front end could communicate back. So right now I haven't changed anything. Even the fields are still are not emptied out. I'm just going ahead and pressing login. Now if you see, it says login successful. And this is the response that I got back. See, the request was made to this one. It was a post request. And here's the thing. This is the response header and this is the request header. Okay. You can see the payload. Payload is this JSON object that had email and password, right? And what is the response? Response is this JSON object that had token, email, ID, message, and row. Now, if you see, where did it come from? From the console, you can see that it says showing or it printed out login successful. That is because I have set it in here. That is on line 50, and that's in then block. So as I got a good response, so in that case, I came to this then block, right? Let's see the wrong email address. admins@abc.com. And I'm giving the right password only. But still, beforehand it would check, bro. It would check if the user, like if the email ID is present or not. Then only it would check password. So password doesn't matter. But I gave the email ID to be wrong. And if I click login, you can see it gave me an error. But right now, this is a different kind of error. Previously, what it was saying that network error and stuff. Right now, it is saying 404. But if you see in the network console, it's a bit different. Previously, it didn't had any response and stuff. But right now, what was the payload? Payload is admins@abc.com and password is whatever it is. But the request was completed. Even previously also the requests were completed, but it was like not giving any response back. Response back as in response. But it was communicating back that there is some error. Okay. But in here you can see what's the response. You can see it over here. Message says user not found. Okay. But if you see in the console, it didn't do. I think yeah, it did do. That is login failed. And why is that login failed? Login failed is from here. That is, it came to the cache block. So what you can consider is if you're like if everything is working fine, if the endpoint is working or communicating fine with your front end server, in that case, it's like two things. Either it would go to then or it would go to catch. If everything is going fine, then it will go to then. If it is getting an error, be whatever 400 series or 500 series, in that case, it will go for catch. Okay. Else, for 200 or 300, it would go for post. Now, let's see. What are the things that I'm getting back? So a response is not only a response that I wrote in the return statement and returning back, but it will be having so many things. Okay, how can I do it? See, this was the successful response, right? If I expand it, you will see there are multiple fields. There is config, there is data, there is header, there is request, there is status text, so many things. If you expand data, data is the key that will be having whatever response that you are responding back. So you are responding back a JSON object, right, in the return statement. That JSON object is being attached to this key, that is data. So that is config and stuff. You can go through it, but like I will be using the status. For example, what am I doing? Currently, I'm just printing it out. But rather printing it out, it stopped printing both. Let's do something else. What am I doing? I'm clearing out the fields, right? Think of it in this way. If I am getting a good response, then only I will clear out the fields. So for that, what can I do? I can give it a if response dot data dot what was that? Like I like if I do response dot status. Firstly, status. Okay. If status is not 200, then I am alerting that it failed, right? Else it would proceed. Even before it would proceed, I want to do one more check. If from response dot data is the key that is having the JSON object that I am returning. Within that JSON object, if I have the authentication token, then only I would proceed. I have, like I can say that yes, I can proceed for the next step, and the login was successful. Right? Save it and give it a try. Admin@abc.com. Yes.
There was like not login successful. There was something.
Wait.
Okay, you have added that undefined. That was that.
Oh, undefined if like if I like I would be getting a response back, right? But if the token was not generated successfully, because I need the token
Yes.
extensively, right? Now here's the thing. If I don't have like if authentication token is like not defined and stuff, or if it is null, in that case, I would be like I'd be like alerting that yes, the response the login didn't happen. Like for example, I can give it a try. Okay. It's good to we can I know the session might be a bit slow, but it's good to cover everything now, at least for the starting page. Okay, I removed the authentication token field, right? And now I'm trying it. Okay. Gave it right password, and if I click login, what is happening? Login failed because the response was not having everything was fine, but the response was not having the authentication token field. Right? Adding it back, and okay. So as of now, I got the token. I can see it on either on the network section or I can print it on the console. Right. Give it one more try. And successful. And you can see from here that I got the token. Now I have to use the token, right? How can I use it? That is, I have to store it from the client side. Now, if you consider that my backend is out of job. Out of job is it has completed its job. That I gave you the token. Now it's your responsibility to store the token and share it with me whenever you are doing doing the next request, right? So in here, what you have to do, somehow you have to store it, right? Now to store it, the thing is where to store it. You can store if you come to this application, you'll find that there are so many storages that we can use. There is local storage, there is session storage, extension storage, cookies, and so many things. Okay. So from here, again, there could be other ways too to store the token, but I am not going for those as of now. Right? Instead, I'm keeping it as simple as I could. Okay. Even if I remember correctly, here in the theory course, they might have discussed this local storage. I'm not very sure, but I think, if I remember correctly, they might have touched a bit about local storage, or about at least the storage. If not, no one's. We can see that. So in local storage, I will be storing the token. Right? If you see within local storage, I got this. I said it won't be like it will be handy, very easy. Okay, let's see how can I do it. So from the logic that I was going for response, if everything is going fine, then what am I do? What will I do? Is I would write this local storage dot set item, and with the key I will be storing the token. Okay. In the same way, I can store multiple things. Store the email, store the what is the response? Let's see. Email, let's store the ID. Local storage. What are the things that I have? Either the login, ID, message, and role. Role I want to see. Role, role and role. Okay. This four fields I want to save: authentication token, email address, role, and user ID in the local storage. Let's see how can I do it. Let's clear everything out, and in application 2 it's empty. I will be seeing those over here. Let's try. Admin at the rate abc.com and admin 123. If I click login and okay, you'll see the keys are declared. However, I have defined it, and here are the values for the keys. And you can see like every website uses that. If I open up Google, simple Google, nothing. If I open the inspect window, go to application, here is the local storage, and you can see all the website use that. Okay, right. So I have stored it. Next thing, we'll be giving it a try. How can I use the token? But before that, I will just reuse this login page to create a register page. And there is something that I want to see. Okay. Before that, just give me 30 seconds, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So I was talking about, let me create a register. Okay. So I'm just copy pasting it because it's kind of similar. So I can reuse it. Uh, register. Basically, I could have added a component and I could have called it over. Yeah, that could be possible too. But chalo koi baat nahi. Register. So in here, let me do something. Wherever there is login, I'm changing it to register. Register. Okay. Mostly it's good. Yeah. Fixes are there. Register. What am I doing? I'm having this field. Those are fine. See, I added those buttons, those side buttons, right? But those are not working. Even there is something more that I want to do, and that is why I came to this page. Yeah, we'll be seeing that. Every other thing is fine as of now, but whenever I'm registering, I won't be getting this, so I will be storing this. Rather, I want to do something else. We can check that out. But when register, I need one more field. There is one more field that is the username. So span username. There's an input field that says username, okay. And we can make it as both are equal. Like everything is required. Nothing can be skipped. Required, required here too. Even that check is done already from here. Still, um,
Path token.
hmm?
Path token part. A response. Data. Path.
Yeah, if we remove that. Oh, acha, I didn't do it. So whenever I'm getting a error, best thing is this dot message login failed and what was the message? Or I can give it an alert instead of adding it. Let it be there. Look. And same goes for register. Okay, now I can give it a try. From the backend side, from the database, let's check what are the users that I have. User till user two. Let me create user three. Okay. Okay. I didn't declare a. Right. Save it and give it a try. Now you can see this register button is not working. And for the register page, the login button will be working. So we'll be fixing those. Right? See, login won't work. But I have the fields. Let's see. Network. Let the email ID be user 3 abc.com. Oh, there is one thing I can do. User 3. If I register, it says network error. That's failed. Ah, 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 ha, 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 ho, 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 oh, oh, oh. Did I write register for multiple places? Register is GISTER. My bad, my bad. Silly me. User 3 at the rate fc.com. Sorry. User 3. And the password is again user 3. If I click register, it would work now. User registered successfully, right? And if that is the case, why didn't it clear out the fields?
Actually, it shown register failed, then registered successfully. The message.
It said, oh, okay, okay, okay. So the response would be 1201. Sorry, my bad. Here I can show the alert. Okay, sure. I can give it one more try, but got my point. What mistake that I made. Now, the next thing is, what did you expect after I'm done registering, or if you have seen the websites, what they do after you are done signing on to their website or platform, they would redirect you to the login page and they would ask that please use the credentials and log into our website. So what that could be after this alert, what I want to do, I want to redirect it to the login page. Okay, login page. So how can I do it? Is this dot router, that is the same router that we are using. Router dot push it to where? To login. Okay. And in the button 2, I can do that. Be on click. I guess it would work. This dot router dot push, pushing it to it may fail because of the codes that I am using. It's okay. Yeah. That's name doesn't require that. But let's keep it and give it a try. So click on login. Yeah, it's good. Sure. Nice. Let's get back to register. In here, login is working. In the same way, I will do it for login too. That is, whenever I'm clicking on the button, P on click, what I want to do, this dot router dot push it to where, push it to name register. Okay, let's give it a try. Login. register, register, working fine. Now what I say, I'm done registering. I would like it is here. Right? Let's give it a try. User4 at the rate abc.com. User4 user register. Register was successful. I came to the login page. Right? This is how you would be doing. Next thing, within login, I can use user4 edit from user4. So is it 4? It's 2. 4. Login and login success. Right. Voila. Nice. Now, let's do this.
One
I'm
question,
done.
sir.
Yes, yes, of course.
You have mentioned that in the template, be on click there,
Uh-huh.
and you, yes, they are routed, and the name is register. So which name we have to use?
The register
Where?
is the name, like if you remember the name, wherever we are defining the name.
Okay, 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 got it, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Else, if you do not want to do that, in that case, what would I do? I could do something like I remove the JSON set and I directly write register. It will still work. Register. I so I'm very bad with spellings. JST register. This will still work, but I'm making it dynamic.
Yes.
Now that I have the login page and I have the token, let's give it a try if it is working. So after login, okay, I am not redirecting anywhere. But in about page, what I want to do, let me have that script tag. Very quickly, I will write import Axios from Axios. It's for default. Is about view data field, which could be something message, and it is empty as of now. Now the thing is that the life cycle. But before that, am coming to that life cycle in a moment. But so uh, method, methods fetch data. Okay. So what fetch data is doing? Fetch data is basically trying to communicate with local host 5000. But see, it is not HTTP. Yes, it is HTTP, and it is trying to communicate with hello. I do have a hello endpoint if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yes, hello, but it needs a token. Okay, that's fine. That's good. It needs a token, but it would say it would respond me with a string that is hello world. Right? Let's
Yes.
sorry.
Yes, sir.
Uh, I'll just use this so that I can have the JSON object. I'm using hello world. Right? About you, hello world. Now, if I am getting a good response, then what am I doing? I'm adding it to the message. Message and message. Else, I can console log the error, or else give it an alert. Now, what am I doing? I'm having a button over here. Whenever I'm clicking the button, it would run that fetch data. Let's see. Let's give it a try. I'm done logging in. I already have the token with me. Let's see that from here. I already have the token. I go to the test page, and if I click on data, what is the response that you expect? That there is a error. The status code 001. Why is that so? Because I didn't add the token. Whenever I am sending the request, I should have the token, like I have the token attached, right? How can I do it? Is from here only. Within get, after you are done defining the endpoint, start off with a curly bracket and you mention headers. And within headers, there would be again a curly bracket. So this is how the thing looks like. In here, you just want to write what was the key. The key was authorization. And what would be the response back? That is the auth token that I'm getting from the local storage. But there is some issues. That is after that, I need to add a comma. Okay. Let's give it a try. Save this and let's stay in network, clear network out. And if I click on fetch data, it still is not working. That is 403. Let's see what's happening. Is it says you don't have permission to view this resource. That is because most probably I have set it for admin and the token that I am using, that's for user. Okay. For the quick fix, what can I do is, see, I haven't made the logout method as of now. Okay. So I will just go ahead, clear out the local storage and go back to login. Okay. Okay. I might have to need to extend the session a bit. So if you are okay, I think it would be a huge help for me. Like I'll be finishing off the file.
No issue, sir.
I'm using admin. Admin 123. Okay. Logging in. Login was successful. So I got the token. I would go to about and I would click on fetch data. Fetch data. In network part, you can see that the response was hello world. That's good. Sorry. Very sorry. In the header, you can see whenever the request was being made, the token was added. Right. Now there is something more that I could have done, but it's okay. It's fine. See, the thing that I was talking about is I could have defined a token, a variable here, and I could have imported it, and I could have added. So that adds a check that if I don't have a token, I cannot make a request. Now let's see. What I want to do after this. In here, I want to add that. This thought message. See, I want to do what thing that is right now. If I give it a try, this comma will stay, comma and space. Right. What I'm saying, after I'm done fetching, it would say me this hello world. This is an about page. Right? But I don't want to see the comma before. What would I do? I would add a in here. V if this dot message equals to, if it is empty, then I won't do it. Like if it is not empty, okay, then I would add this. Else I won't show this. Okay, save it. Give it a try. See, it's gone. Now, if I click on fetch data, then only the rest of the thing will come. Okay. Sure. So it is okay. It is good. But do you want your user to go ahead and click on the on a button and see, and after some time you will get the data back and you will see the data? No, right? Data on the page will get populated. No, right? Rather, what you want to, or what the end user wants to see whenever he comes to the The about page, he wants to see this. Right? So what did I do? I would remove this button. Instead, I would use the view life cycle. The life cycle was already covered by both, I guess, in the screencast videos and the lecture videos, right? So what it is? Whenever a page is getting mounted, there are so many life cycles, right? Uh, view life cycle. There is created, before mounted, mounted, so many things. See, before created, before mounted, mounted, before unmount, unmounted, before update, right? There is computed. So many things are there. That's computed. There isn't so computed in this. From where you can also check computed stuff. But have a look. Okay. So what did I do? So whenever I say that whenever the page is getting mounted or whenever the page is getting created, I want to add the or do this fetch, basically run this method. Okay. So what am I saying? Created at created life cycle, I want to run this. That is this dot fetch. Yeah, yeah. I want to run this. Let's see. So refresh the page and it's getting. See, there is a slight delay, but it is coming up. That is because whatever time that is needed to communicate with the backend server, it is taking it and it's populating. Right. So that is how we will be doing. Next thing is there is one more thing. That is the computed one. For example, what it is. Right now in register.view, I can have the if you see register.view, register. See, I'm writing the email, right? Register file, user 5 at the rate gmail.com. Now, the thing is that what I want to do, see, as of now, just for a suggestion for the user, I want to have the username to be the same as whatever the user writes before the at the rate. Okay. How can I do it? I can do it using computing. In here, this dot username, user name. What it will do is this dot email split. If there is email, then I'm splitting the email at the rate, and I'm taking the part that is before at the rate. Okay. Else I'm keeping it empty. What's the issue? Mhm. Okay. Uh, अच्छा, अच्छा. Okay, let's try. Let's give it a try. Uh, okay, it's not working. Hmm. Let's yourself. Okay, let's use the AI. Why not? I'm using it wisely. So okay, AI is not working. That is good. Very well. I'm not getting the point. This start reasoning. Let's try with that. But that shouldn't be the case. Let us try. Yeah, it is not working. It shouldn't work. Actually. Let's take it to. Split is fine. There is something more. AIs are not working. Hmm. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I got.
method.
Methods. Hmm. Yeah, so good. User 5 at the rate. UC.com. It didn't get filled. Ah, I got to kill me. Okay, return is fine. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Hmm. I generally forgot. Computed view. Let's see. Computed properties. Reactors. That is one. Hmm. Some structural error that I'm picking, but I don't want to waste this much time. But हमने क्या करेगा? Computer reverse mixage function. Okay, try this. That's fine. Hmm. Okay. Uh,
I
let's
guess
see.
setter method is needed.
Hmm. Is that? Let's see. Let's see. Nope. No. Hmm. This value key. Then let's create a track. Oh. Hmm. Okay. I will have a look on this, and let's not waste any more time. Or else in the end of the session of last leg I can give something. Okay. Chalo. After this, what was I planning to do after logging? Acha, I have shown the that life cycle, right? Next thing in the home, let me change it, right? So after login should redirect it to the home page. So login and everything goes right. So I can give it an alert or something, or else I can give it a push to the home. An alert is fast. So I can come back to login. Acha. Okay, there's one more thing. In about view, for example, about view needs to add something, right? Like it needs to make a request and come back. So for a request, I need the token. I cannot like without the token I cannot make it. It's because the endpoints are protected. So there is one more thing that you can do. That is protecting your front end too. So what you can do, as of now, I am like adding it as a page wise check, but you could do it in the router. So the check is basically I'm checking from the local storage if I have the authentication token or not. If not, I would not let it run. So what am I doing? I'm just shifting this over here, right? And this too. Right? In here, what I want to do, if not authentication token, then what am I saying? You are not logged in. Please log in first, and I am redirecting the user to the login page. What is happening? What's the error? Okay, no error. I guess refresh. Okay, there is error. Acha. Let me add the data field from let's be token and token is set to empty. In here, I'm doing this dot token. The same this dot token is checked over here, and it is added over here too. Oh, so the problem was from here. It was not getting that authentication. So nice. Fresh, and now it is working fine. Still, with this check, it is working fine. Now, what did I do? I just go ahead and manually remove the or clear the total local storage. Okay. And if I refresh, what it is doing is sending me you are not logged in, log in first. If I still want to go to about, it won't allow me. Now what I do is admin at the rate abc.com and password be admin123. Then I can log in. Okay. I can go to about. Now there is one more check. See, authentication part is done. Yeah, I'm checking the token if the token is there or not. Else, there is one more check that I can do. If what was that? Local storage dot get item that is role. If role is not set to admin, then I'm saying that you don't have the permission to access this page, right? And I'm sending it to the home page. Okay, save it. Okay, and see it says uh, admin. I guess I do have a different name. No, admin. That's a user role. Sorry, the key is different. User role. Now I can have a look that I can go to about. Else it won't. So firstly, it is checking if the token is there or not. If the token is there, then I'm checking if the role is admin or not. Then only I'm allowing this. Okay. Those things can be done from the router itself at a base location. I'm not showcasing that as of now. I don't have time. Next thing, I have seen this about, right? Next thing would be let's create the final leg. That is the CRUD operation, and we'll be done. So in this home view, let me remove a comment this to down, and home view is empty. Right? Let's do something. Let's make a query. And even I can't make a query. because I don't have the data, right? And even the data fields are not there. Like I don't have the table. I will just quickly go ahead and bring down the tables. Wait, bring down some code for those. Hmm. So I was talking about the. Okay, there is one more thing that I forgot to showcase. I will showcase that. I will show that, and then I can proceed. Okay. And briefly, I would explain what did I do. Okay. Okay, I did add something, and so what did I do?
You are not sharing the screen.
Oh, so previously in the model, I have that contact for the table, user, role, and role user, right? Then the user data store. After that, here are two more or some few more tables, like two more tables: product, and category data. Those are from the problem statement that we have followed. Just the idea to follow it. Right? In here, if you go through it, I have the columns as ID, name, description. I'm just segregating it again. So status is default is true. Okay, created by created at, and those stuff are automatically taken in. Created at before they are again, and delete is false. See, on the user input, I need name and description. Anything else will be added automatically. Like added automatically as in okay, created by and stuff. Okay, so from the user side, I need created by and updated by wala field. Okay, at least from the API side. Okay, not beyond that. But from the user side, end user side, I just need the name and description. Okay. But from that, I have some like child classes, child methods, serialize, get all, admin delete. Okay. So what are those? So serialize is basically taking, if I run this method, then what can I do is I can format it into a JSON object, nothing else. Previously, I was getting, like, I can show it over here. Uh, the API, where was that? Test. Okay. In test, what was I doing? So that is get. No, okay. In here, in this get, what was I doing? I was sharing out whatever or how many contacts that I have, and I would be returning it back. Right. Right now, what am I saying? And previously, what was I doing? I was having a list, and that list had JSON objects for each row, for each respective row. Right. The same thing is done with that too. That is, if I have that serialize function for, अरे किधर गया इतना आगे, in model, if I had the serialize option for contact, how would it work is define serialize. Okay. And what could I have done is I would go back to test. In here, I would have changed it. So it's like contact dot serialize. Okay. It had have, like, I have already have made the uh, JSON structure, and I would have passed, like, I would be passing each row through this. Okay. Even there is one more thing. I could have done that. Else, this is what the total object is, right? Rather, I can do one more thing. See, I would have gone over here and get all method, and what would it be doing is basically query dot all. If contacts, then I'm returning from here only. Okay. Then what would I have done is, instead of this two, I also don't need this two line. Whenever I'm getting a get request, what am I doing? Uh, Data equals to get all. If data, then I'm adding the data over here. Okay. If data equals to, if not equals to, no contact from, then I'm adding it. Else, I'm adding it to here. Okay. Even I can do that. Okay. See, as of now, I don't have any contact. If I restart my server, and I'll just copy the token from here. किधर गया रे भाई? Yeah, here. I put the token and let's give it a try. From postman. किधर गया postman? Postman. So local host it is, and the address should be uh, slash contact. Okay. It's a get request. It shouldn't be responding. Oh no, what was that? Contact. Contact. What did I write? Contact only. So why did it say that? Oh, ho, 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 ho. Okay, no, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's the latest folder, right? Day 4. Yeah, right. Mm. Add contact. It should have given me something else. That some error as 401 or something. This is not. Is there a name? It's very sad to see this is not working. But login is working. That's weird. I'm just giving it a try. I don't know. I thought I could have finished it within next 20, 30 minutes, but yeah, this is working fine, but contact is not working. How weird it could be.
Can you please check in the contact there you write, where
Hmm?
you write?
Sorry, what are you saying?
I'm saying that where you wrote that contact thing.
No, no, see, the problem is that the endpoint, it cannot find the endpoint. It says the endpoint is not registered. So the problem is over here. Hmm. Let's give it a try again. Ah, now it is working. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. Like it's totally is. Sometime it won't work, and the same time it would work. See, did I do any change? No, right? Even I checked if the class name was same or not. I copy pasted it. It's totally same. Now it is working fine. It's giving me 401. That is okay because of the token that I need. I just copy ahead the token and add it to the header authorization. After I say on, there's the token and send it. Now it is saying no contacts found, right? How it was previously working for me. In the body, I would add it, like add some data so that I can have a look. If it is working fine for me, I need the name and number. Name and number. Number could be number. Is it NO or anyone? Anyone? Or okay. It's a post request. Send contact added successfully. If I do a get request, you can see this is what I was previously getting. The same thing I'm getting again. For example, if I my name over here and do a post request, I got that. Do a get request, and I see same thing, same implementation. Okay. Now, where was I? I added it for category 2, right? Category. Where's the model? Yeah, category. Mm, yeah, serialize get all, but I'm not doing that in get all. I could have done it. Um, let's see, let's do it. I don't need getting in that case. Okay, there is one more thing, that is the delete field. Okay, status and all is a different thing. Categories. Consider this. You are a grocery store manager, or it's your grocery store. You are setting the category status to be either active or false, or like it can be something like consider it. Somehow you are using status. Okay. Else there is one more thing, that is delete. I'm using soft delete. Just search in Google and find it how can or what is soft delete, right? I'm using that, and for that to be done, I'm defining a method, and I'm keeping the column to be a boolean column, and as per how I set it, it would be like if I have set it for false, in that case the category is not deleted. Okay, I'm considering from the backend side, but I'm not deleting it. I'm not removing it from the table, right? But if I'm setting it to be false, in that case the category data is still there in the table, but it's like it won't be visible. Like I will be adding a validation check, something from here too. No, not from here, from the front end side. I'm not going for the products, but you can have a try. In the API side, in category.py, I have the APIs, right? In here there is something more. See, I'm using current user. I have showcase role accepted and auth required. Same way there is one more method, that is current user. So current user, you can find like whatever the details one user could have. If you remember that I was querying like that user data store, the find user, then with the email, then I was adding it to a variable, and that variable had all the user attributes, right? Whatever it could be. Same way, the current user is the same thing. Whatever token you are using for interacting with this specific endpoint, that token is attached to a user, right? From that token, the current user would be found out, and that current user, well, a thing will be having every attribute that one could have. So see, I could have used something like user equals to find user by somehow, and I would have added it to a variable, and that variable dot id would be having that user's id. Same thing can be implemented from here. Current user dot id. Okay, same implementation. Now, as I am using the token, so I do not need that. So I basically I'm just setting it. Okay. But I have to do something else. That is, okay. And so as of now, what did I do? Here's a post method. The post method is taking name and description from the user, nothing more, adding it to the category wala table, right? Why is it that? Okay. Category wala table and saving it. In the get request, I'm not doing it. And the serialize is also not needed, even that all is also not required. What do I need? I don't need this. Okay, let it be. So it is category dot get all, right? And get all will be giving the list. List. Else it would respond with a object, with a string. Now to get that, what am I doing? Now to, like, just to handle it. If data equals to a string, that is no category found. Else I'm adding this. Okay. Same way we can do it for serialize. Yeah, that is being done. And put all methods can be added from there. From, for example, post, I could have added it. I would write it down after right after the session. I would add it to the GitHub repository. Have a look. What am I saying? But what am I saying? Whatever method or whatever CRUD operation that I am doing from the APIs, I can do it. Like I can write a child a function over here, and I could have called it from there. Okay, that would be a more structured way. Okay, not covering that in the session right now. But what am I saying? I can add a category, and I can get all the categories. I can get a specific category. I can update a specific category, and from delete, I'm not deleting it using the SQL alchemy method. Rather, I am deleting it as a soft delete. Okay. Now here's the thing. Uh, Here is the thing. Key. I have the endpoints, and I just need to declare the endpoints. That is from category and ID. Okay. From routes dot category. Why is it giving me an error? Routes dot category. That is well. Routes dot auth and acha. Okay, that's not an issue. Basically, it's not updated in the PyCast, so that is why it might be giving my error. So now it is working fine. It's just showing me that error, but there is no error as of now. I can have a try. That is category. If I do get, then I'm seeing okay. See, the table was not made, right? So first thing that I have to do is I need to add the table. So Python DB init. Again, that's a newer table, so that I hence I can do this. Okay. DB init and give it a try now. And if I send it again, I can see that no category was found because the table was empty. Table is empty. Category table is empty. Now if I want to do a post, I can do it from here. Or else let's do it from the front end only. I have seen that this is working fine. Even I can do it in this way. No category found, and there is no serialize. No serialize. That's a problem. That's a bummer. Categories. Not serialize. Acha, it was not found, right? So I should have done it beforehand. If not found, like if I cannot find a row, like how one row could have serialized if that row is not visible. Toggle label category is not defined. Oh, if not categories. No category found by that ID. Okay. Now let's have a look in the front end side. In home view, what I want to do, whenever the home view is getting mounted, or whenever the home view is getting created, what I want to do, I want to query the stuff, right? And for that, I need the data fields, data, and in here I need the categories, category. That's a list, and it is empty. I can set it for empty, right? And there is token. Okay. Wait. In created, what I want to do, I want to define a method. I want to get the token first. Then I want to have the check, and if everything goes fine, then I want to call a method that is get category. And where is that method defined? That method I will define over here. Methods get category, and for that I am using Axios from Axios library instead of fetch. Axios HTTP local host 5000 category. Right. Header is having the token, and here's the get request that is ending over here, and then there's the then block. If everything is going fine, if response dot status is 200 and I got the response, most probably that would be it, right? 200 only I'm saving for get all. Yeah, 200. 200 and I got the data. In that case, what would I do? I would just populate with it. So why am I doing data.data? Basically, in the response part, the total JSON object from here also I can change it a bit. Instead of data, I can go for categories. or category data. Category underscore data, and get that from. So within that JSON object, we'll be having the category. Okay. Else category though is empty. I can showcase something like an error or something. No categories found. No categories found. Oh wait. Yeah, it's fine. Hmm. No category found. Okay, got it. There is not a problem. Let's see. Expected. I guess the blocks are not. Okay, yeah. It's been completed. Okay, that's the thing. There is one more option that. Yeah, that's good. So this is the method, right? And let's see. I just want to print it out. Just not category. And if I go to home, it's not allowing me. That is because of the key error, I guess. Yes. Not. I go to home. I can. Yeah. It is giving me 404. That is fine. 404 is not handled. And for that, I should have added this statement 2. This one. Okay. Okay. No categories found. No category found. Right. Now, here's the thing. If I get the categories, where to add those? Let me add some category beforehand. What do I need so that I can start off with the view, right? Or else I can start off with a page. Sorry for holding you up for this long. I planned it to end it today only, so that is why. Let me add one more folder. Category. In this folder, I can add a file. Create.py. Oh, sorry, not py. It's view. View. Okay. So there is template, and within the template, it's a div class category create. I'm not using form. I'm using this too. But what stuff do I need? I need name and description. That would be enough. Name and description. Okay. Right. Good to go. And we not click calling a method that is add category. And the script tag. Firstly, I will import yours from the access. You can export it for create name, then the data fields token. Then whenever the page is getting created, I will go and check for the token. If not, then I'm adding this. Okay, even there is something more. If not token, and No, no, or local storage dot get item is not admin. Then I pick the L user. So I could have added it differently so that it gives two alerts, different alerts. Now, next thing created is done. Next thing I need the method add category, and whenever I am, I could have done it in this way. That is also good. Header, I'm adding the header. I'm sending a post request. If everything goes fine, I would be having, or I'd be getting 201. If I get 201, then I'm sending it to home. Now, the thing is that I'm changing it to make it dynamic. That is, instead of that, I want to do this. That is, name. Name is home. Okay. And if there is an error that I'm alert, then I'm alerting. Right. Okay. This is the very basic create category thing page. I can add it from the home view. Home view could be something like mm, a h1 tag, but that h1 tag is only if we if this dot category equals to says what no category found, whatever the response was. What was the response? No category found. And what this would do, this would send to v on click this dot router dot push to where to the location where the location name is home. And the first oh. This won't work. That is because of the h1 tag. And this h1 tag should end over here. And the other one stays in the a tag. Anchor tag. Uh, Did I do wrong? Yeah. It still is not working. Ah, my bad. What am I doing? Fuck. Is the anchor line? Okay, now it looks good. Ah, oh, H1 won't work. No, let's move it. It still is not working. Anchor tag, anchor tag. What is happening? Firstly, it is visible. That is good. Hmm. अच्छा, anchor tag we on won't work. Add click. No, let's change it to button. But it should have worked. Anyways, let's go ahead with button. No worries to that. Add category, and I would have redirected, but in the router page I haven't added that. That is why it's not giving me anything. Category, create the category. I need to do something to create. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Where did it break? Okay, now that is fine. So what's happening? Now it is working. So what it was doing, like it was working previously too. Okay, in the anchor tag it was working, but I had set the push to home, so it was redirecting to home again. So that is why it was not visible. Visibly, there was nothing. I got that, and let's add a span over here so that there is some few somewhat gap. Nope, should work. Nope. There was some styling that we have. Category name. Let's add the category name to be fruit fresh from farm. Okay. If I click on create category, if everything goes fine, then I would go back and see it over here. That is good, but I don't want to see it over here. Rather, what I want to see is in home view. I saw it's huge. The session is going now. When did we start? Nothing much left. Only a bit. Okay. This is the last leg. I can promise you on that.
No problem.
Like, how long can you stay?
7 p.m.
Sorry?
7 p.m. is no issue from my side. Today
7?
I'm free. 7 p.m.
No, no. Right
evening.
now, can you stay? How
Yeah,
long
I
can you
can
stay?
stay. No problem. No problem. I
Okay,
can
okay.
stay till 7 p.m. Whole day is
Oh,
7.
acha, acha. Oh, okay. No, no, I don't need that much time. Okay. I can finish off before that. Okay. So what am I saying is, in here I can add a check if category equals to um, what is let's not do it in this way. Rather, a paragraph. If is got category. Okay, category this equals to no category form. Or instead, let's keep it empty. Why to fill it up? Let's keep it empty. That's not on harm. It could make my life easier. How to write it twice? Category count. Okay. Now, the thing is that that's fine. If I am having data, then what would I do? I would like there is multiple ways you want to make a dashboard, but the most simplest way is to use the HTML table. Table. What data that I am getting? Let me see for once. This dot category. अरे यार मेरे को इतना चाहिए था थोड़ी. This dot category. Okay. In a single JSON object, I'm getting created by, delete, description, ID, name, free. So many things I am returning. Let's use everything up. Okay. Let's use that. And to see it over here, I can keep the model side. What things have we returned? Let's start that. Like I'm creating the table. Firstly, defining the columns. Table head column starts with ID. Then there is name, description, status, created at, updated at, delete. Name, description, status, created by. Similarly, they will be updated by. And finally, there is delete. Okay. Again, this home is for admin, right? I'm creating as per the admin structure. Okay. Created at like keeping in mind I'm please here that I'm creating it for admin. And then the final thing that is action. So this is the table. And next thing in the table body, I'll be adding the rows. For that row, I'll be using for each row. Like each row represents each row that is coming from the list, right? So I'll be using V for And this works in this format. So for each category, in category for I in the wait, I also forgot the structure. What was the thing? Item and items. Okay. There was something more. Nope. That's it. Okay. In this, I'm creating like for each row, I'll be having the data, right? So it's like I dot id for the name and the description. Okay, sorry, my bad. I'm showcasing something. I'm rendering out something. And here is the TD that I will be adding in a date. But as of now, I want to see this. Let's see in a table format. Mm,
Can I ask one thing?
yes, yes, please.
Actually, in the A tag, you have used that be on click, and then you have rerouted that thing to somewhere else.
Hmm.
So, like from where it is coming, what I have to do, and how it is working.
Okay, coming to that in a moment. Let me write something. No category container. Yes, you were saying something. Tell me.
Yes, I was saying about the A tag,
Hmm. A tag.
that how it is working. That you wrote that be on click and this. There you have router also.
Okay. So if you remember, so we like what was the button that was doing in the login page? Whenever I click on this button, I want to run a method, right? So how it is working is like the pages are reactive in nature, right? They can have multiple attributes. So what am I saying? Whenever we see or whenever a click is detected on that specific button, what it would do? It would run me, it would trigger this method that goes with the name login. Okay. Now, uh, in home view, what am I saying? Whenever you see a click on this anchor tag, what it should do, even it can work for h1 tag. I was writing it in wrong way, so you can use an anchor tag too. Whenever you click see or you find a click on that specific kind of a tag, what it would do, it would run something or it would trigger something. In this trigger, what am I doing? Instead of saying it to run a method, I'm saying that router dot push. If you see, that's an attribute, like that's a feature that I'm getting from view router, right? I'm using that over here. So whenever I get a click on this specific element of the page, I would redirect it to the different page.
So previously it was like a button, and now any tag can be working as a button kind of thing. Hello, sir.
Good. Huh. Tell me.
So previously it was like like button kind of thing we have to do, but now any tag can be working as a
No,
button,
no.
right?
Even there too. Like if in login, if you want, you can do it with anything else. That is fine. Previously, it was not working for me, right? It was not working because the name that I had kept was, instead of add category, I kept it as home. So it was working in the back end. It was redirecting, but it was redirecting to the same location. So with our view, we were not seeing any change, right? So that is why it was. I was saying that why is it not working? Why is it not working? But it was working. That's a mistake that I have made. Chalo.
Can you please show that again, that how you are giving that a click, but click one if you're clicking somewhere, that thing.
Okay, I can show you that. For example, if I bring it down so it's outside the scope. Okay, you are on this portion. If I click on here, it would go ahead. Okay. It is giving me
Uh,
the other, like, mouse icon. I can change it. I can change it from style. This style. It was cursor, and there it is, style. I guess crosshair. Yes, crosshair. Okay, it's in that div. Let me bring that down. No, crosshair is not wrong. It's pointer. Pointer. It's okay. If I click, I can go ahead over here. Come over here. That is what I was trying to match. Next thing. Okay, let me restructure the file. It looks very bad. Hmm, If someone somewhat is okay. Anyways, so this is the div, and that div will only be visible uh, if I don't have any category. Okay. Else, it would just go ahead and show the next div. I can keep it this way. Key else. Add a new category. Something like this. Okay. So the table is getting filled, right? Name, description, status, created at, updated by is empty, updated by is empty, delete status and action are empty. Delete status is empty, that is because it is delete, not status. Okay. Now I can show something like the fields are empty, right? Updated by and updated at is empty. Let it be empty. If not, then I can do something. Uh, some check, that is, like I can add if and stuff, like VIFs. Okay, let's not waste any more time in that. But the next thing that I want to showcase is the action, and with this, I want to end the session as of now. That is action, update and stuff. Right? From here, I want to have two buttons or anchor tag. Wait, anchor tag, anchor tag, anchor tag, anchor tag, and anchor tag. Okay. So delete category doesn't need to be redirected. Rather, I can call a method and it will be done. Right? So this dot delete category, and I'm passing the category ID. In here, what I want to do, similar to get category, I want to declare one more method, that is delete category. Delete and authorization, everything is taken up. So how is delete responding back? Delete is responding back with 201. So if 201 is there, then what would I do? I would just call the get category again to update the page. You can have a look. If I click on delete, if I click on delete, it is asking me, are you sure you want to delete the category? I click OK. Category was deleted. Basically, it was set as true, right? And it got updated, right? Next thing, for edit, I want to add it in this way. If I click on edit, it should redirect, right? Now, where would it redirect? Here's the thing. Consider this. I am creating one more view, that is update. Basically, I can reuse, right? Why do I can reuse? Copy, paste, and just rename it to update. And router, there we go, my router, again, reusing this, but here is a slight change that I want to do. Update with a ID. Okay. And what was the name? Edit category. Edit or update or whatever. Router, what is router? Router. Edit category, edit. Okay. Fine. Now, if you see, similar to backend path variables, I can use front-end path variable too in this way. How I'll do it? I'm coming to that in a moment. But I'll go to update.view. See, I will do the changes from there. So wherever there is create, okay, one second. Create, I want to change it to edit. Edit. Okay. Now this works, I guess. Category create is change to edit. Hey, yeah. Hey, 30 more seconds, okay, 20 seconds. One, bye. in here, what I want to do in edit category, everything is staying same, right? How it was. Uh, Create name, category edit. Here's the name and here's the description. Now, instead, I want to do something more. That is, I want to get the ID. ID is empty, but ID will be generated from here. This dot ID from the path parameter. Okay. Even I can add that check key. We need the ID. And what will I do is one more thing, that is get the details of the category. Get category. Okay. And whatever the response is, I'm just considering that. And it would be most probably I can see that. Total to inactive. Okay, let's give it a try. Very quickly, I'll just give it a try. Instead of add category, it is edit category. And what edit category is doing, edit category is taking that in. So it's 80. This dot ID. See, it won't work with the code. So I need to add the backtick. Let's have a try. It may or may not work right now, but I hope it is working because I can't waste any more time of you guys too. Category, view category, something happened. What's that's the update. Oh, I don't need that. If I click on edit, let's see. It is going to category edit one. That is fine. But what I want and why I need, like I need the ID, right? Basically to update a specific field, I need the ID. Next thing, what I'm trying to do is this get. What is this get doing? Get is basically getting the name and description of that specific category from the backend. Instead of like I could have passed it as a parameter or something, not as a path parameter, like as a proper something I could have done it and I could have passed it over here. But instead, what am I doing? I'm just getting it or trying to get it from the backend so that it's like a double check. Okay. But that double check is not working. That is because of my silly mistake. Something that is what am I doing? I'm adding it to data. So data dot okay, I can get the response over now. So if I stay in network and if I do a refresh again, Oh, I didn't add that. My bad. Like, I'm running fast, and at this time, it's everything that is does not get category. Okay. Refresh it again, and it is getting filled up. Okay. Now, if I want to add a change, if I add to add root new, okay, and after edit is done, if everything goes correctly, then I will be redirect to home. Edit. Now this is not working. That is because the button still has add category, and I have changed it to edit. Edit category. Save it. Give it a new try. Root new edit, and you can say that it's 405. Wow, that is most probably the link was not found in the terminal. 405 category, no, it is working category 1, but I guess the endpoint is different. Is it? No, category 1 it is. Calculation 405. What is 405? Figure gear expect window. Network. What is the response? Response to the figure. Method not allowed. Method not allowed. What's the method? What is the method? Okay, I'm doing get over here. That is fine. I'm doing post over here. That will be put. My bad. Edit category and category was successful. And you can see it over here. I will be stopping the session over here. Anything more will be covered. Like if I feel that, or if you guys want anything to ask, like you can ask it right now. Like if you uh, want, but go through the code. Like if you do not understand anything, you can ask it over here. Like there is only Abhishek, so Abhishek, if you want to ask anything else, go through the code, have a look, and I would also check if everything I have covered. No, I have some more components that I would like to add and that I want to include. I can like it would need some more time, and I will include and finish that in the next day, right? Today I am like ending the session over here. It's very long. It's like we started. It's almost 3 hours, so it's huge. So
Yes.
yes, I should
When will be our having next session?
day after tomorrow.
Okay, day after tomorrow. Fine. That is 11th.
11th. Today is Friday. Friday. There will be. Sure. So Abhishek, we are calling it a day, and if you ask anything, you can ask. But I'm stopping the recording.